So last week we ended with Revelation 16:16, which referred to those cute, bizarre-like, frog-like demon spirits.
Not cute.
Oh, aren't all frogs cute?
No. It's not the evil ones.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, they had come from the mouths of Satan, the Antichrist, and the false prophet, and they went out on a mission to go get all the kings of the earth. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to clarify.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, verse 14.
I don't think they're really frogs. I think they look like frogs.
There's some type of lizard.
Never know.
You said they were.
The snake in the garden spoke and did his stuff. Anyway, they left and went on the mission to go seek out the kings of the earth and convince them to go to battle and head towards the Battle of Armageddon. So let's begin with the next verse in this passage.
Can I say something about that?
Mhm.
That too? Like, I just keep picturing this time like we were last time, talking about every time God does something that only God can do, you know, like the rules board out, good or bad, punishment or blessing.
Right.
There's always, it seems like right after that, when they're like, it says, my Bible calls them, it says they were demonic spirits that performed signs.
Mm-hmm.
And they go out. So it's like, I think, you remember, it's almost like you think of Moses' time when, you know, like he had,
Exodus.
the Pharaoh had his guys trying to do the same thing, turn the water to
Right.
blood and all that stuff. But it's like, it's just that whole spiritual battle of like, oh yeah, look what we can do.
Right, it's always the mimicking. Well, that's what the whole thing, Satan, the Antichrist, and the false prophet, it's the unholy trinity. It's the mimicking of everything to distract people, pull them away, you know.
Well, because he's not God, he can't do anything with ministry.
No, right, exactly.
He can't be original at all.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Can I ask something sidebar? When I'm picturing this, they're coming out of the mouth of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet.
Mhm.
Are they taking like a physical form like that? Or-
That's the way I would
Or
take
is it
it.
like a whispering of lies to the leaders, or is it, you know, I mean, because like even as sometimes we don't see demons like physically.
But they're convincing us, right?
But they're in the music, they're in the whatever it is.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could take it either way because I know with angels, which are from the other realm, the spiritual realm, they're not in our form, but they could take on human form.
My Bible
And
says,
so why not, you know, maybe the demons take on whatever form they're going to take on.
and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs.
Like frogs.
I know, but it's gotta be, to me, that means, like, it's like
Their
almost
physical form.
this physical form. Yes, if they look like frogs, if they're unclean spirits, it would be, I don't know, that's what I'm thinking, like whispering, whatever, but these says look like frogs. I mean, that's pretty.
So they had a form. So they could
I tend to lean towards them being in a form because I think back, you know, back into Egypt's time, they worshiped the frog. They no doubt probably had a frog demon come along at some point, you know, and convince them that he was God and get them to worship. And that's why it's interesting. So here it comes back here at the end of time, so to speak. The frog comes along to convince people to not worship God and fight against God. And it just seems like the same old thing. The devil's trying again. I would almost think it'd be a physical form, but I don't know.
And throughout Jesus' ministry, they would say, in crowd, who he was.
Right.
The Son of God. They were physical and they were demon.
Well, they were talking through the humans at the time.
So in my Bible reading today,
Okay.
in 2 Kings 23,
Mm-hmm.
I try to stay away.
She's on Calvin.
I don't want to be behind. Anyway, I'm trying to stay ahead because I know
Go
things
girl.
happen. Anyways, it was interesting because it was talking about, you know, like the king and how he did terrible things, of course.
Right.
And there was where they had offered sacrifices to goat demons.
Right.
So that I had never heard or realized before.
Well,
Maybe
you'll-
I kind of skimmed over it. I don't know, but I mean, goat demons, frog demons. I don't know. Maybe
Well, I
it's all-
think even Paul mentions that the idols were demons, tied to the demons. So it makes you wonder what all went on with those demonic worship sessions.
I guess my whole point of my question is some of this imagery seems so far from our reality that I think, how could these people believe a frog spirit? Or how could these people fall for what that's saying? And so I'm just wondering, is some of it just concealed? Like it's in
The whispering in the ear, which could be. But I also think that, like I'd mentioned before, I really think a lot of the UFO alien stuff is tied to this and is demonic. And I could very well see that at this point, these are aliens. They're saying they're aliens. They're working with the Antichrist, and he sent them out to, lead these humans to fight this evil alien god. I mean, I could see that kind of stuff going on, because it'd be the easy way, since we've all been brainwashed for so many years, had all those images put in our head, to use that to convince
But even
people.
saying, well, there's more than one God. There's many gods, and they're all
Right.
in this universe, and maybe people are coming.
They're just aliens.
Yeah.
They're just aliens. I mean, that's what, Star Trek has taught for years. If you watch any of the different series, the concept is it's just aliens that were our gods.
Didn't
The
angels
gate one,
go
what's
to
the
the devil?
Stargate? Same thing.
There
Huh?
were evil angels that went with Satan as well.
Exactly, that's right.
So why couldn't it be them?
Yeah.
Well, it could be, but we're just talking about, like, what's the line that's gonna convince people?
Convince people.
You know,
What
because it's
gets
not just
them.
somebody in a frog suit, obviously.
All right, when I was growing up, in the 60s, when they started bringing shamans into the hospital,
Oh,
I thought, you've got to be kidding me. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard of. It's acceptable.
yeah, well,
People, I mean, the reality slowly changes by what we accept.
mhm.
Would you have ever thought that someone would dress up as a cat or a dog and get married to someone? I mean, there's some outlandish things that we're just, to me,
Believing.
are overwhelming.
Yeah.
How could anybody be that crazy?
Couldn't it be
So some of this
possible
doesn't sound so weird.
too that like, and how I'm trying to say this clearly, whatever you're believing is happening could be like, it's gonna attack what you see. So it could be different for you when you
Like different
that it's different things happening to different unclean spirits could take different forms with,
Oh, maybe.
So I'm not bothered by frogs, but maybe it's gonna be a black widow spider. I don't know. It's gonna come and.
Well, it's kind of specific in this instance,
It's-
which
it's
is
specific.
interesting. It's very specific.
But it's just,
So-
And I think they're sent more not to scare people, but to show that they have power. So it says they're going out
Yeah.
to form sign, yes.
Yeah, and that's going to happen all throughout. There's going to be false prophets all throughout the tribulation that are performing false signs. And then there's going to be these type of things that are performing their little miracles. That the false prophet is going to be performing his miracles. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. That's probably going to get people used to weirdness.
I'm just gonna be scared of anybody that looks like a frog.
Yeah, desensitized. There you
what,
go.
say that again?
I'm just gonna be scared of anybody that looks like a frog now. Sorry, can't be friends with me. A frog and
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
So anyway, let's start where the verse is that we left off. So Revelation 16:17. Then the seventh angel poured out his bowl into the air, and a loud voice came out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done." I assume that would be God, but it could be an angel that said that. So he pours out that last bowl of judgment into the air. We don't know what it is, kind of a mystery, kind of leaves it you hanging. What did he pour out? We already know the air is pretty bad from all the smelly death that's going on, right? All the bad stuff down on earth. So who knows what he's poured out in the air? It's just a mystery. So there is a blessing tied to this last bowl of wrath because God's wrath is done. You know, the other bowls of wrath, just total judgment, total wrath. But the good thing is that we know that his wrath is done. That is a blessing tied to this bowl. So whether God yelled it out from the temple or an angel, but they made that proclamation. So this is very preparatory, kind of getting people ready, so to speak, for Christ's coming, the second coming. We're now near the end, closer to the end, and because this is the final big judgment that's happening. So let's read the next verse, Revelation 16:18. And there were noises and thunderings and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such a mighty and great earthquake as had not occurred since men were on the earth. So this is the biggest earthquake records being set. What's going to happen with us? And at the same time, it's tremendous lightning and rumbling that's never been seen before. You know how unnerving it can be with a lightning and thunderstorm, especially when they're hitting closer. Well, this is all over the earth.
And the shaking.
And the shaking, all at the same time. Scary. I mean, this you would think would wake people up. This is a bad judgment going on. And it's not going to be one region. It's not just going to be over in Fresno. It's lightning. It's the entire earth rumbling. And I know when I've been closer to thunderstorms and lightning, it's unnerving. We used to get them pretty close while we were in Tennessee. And I was like, wow. I mean, you're feeling the ground vibrate. You know it's really close by. And so I can't imagine this when the whole earth. There's no place to run and hide at all, right? It's scary.
Especially when it gets behind your house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was, how old were you? 8, maybe. We were playing games because it was storming really bad in Wyoming, and we were sitting at the kitchen table trying to keep the kids occupied because it was just pouring down rain. And one big old lightning bolt struck right like 3 feet outside our back door, our sliding glass door. And she was sitting in a chair, and the next thing you knew, she's in her dad's lap. And I don't really know how she got there, because she must have teleported over there. And it was,
It's it does something to you when it's close.
Shook, it shook, it cracked and boomed.
They have some pretty good storms there. We were in a little tent in the middle of a field in Wyoming when one of those hit, and we thought we were going to float away because the rain was so bad and thunder.
We were floating down
It was a bad storm.
Our hay bales were floating away. We were watching our hay bales float down to the next ranch down there. Okay.
Very alarming. But the wrath doesn't stop there, right? The greatest earthquake the world has ever known will shake the earth. We've had some bad ones. This is going to top it all because it's all over the earth. It's the whole earth is shaking. It's like God taking the globe and putting it in his hand and shaking it like a snow globe, right? It's the whole earth. The biggest earthquake ever recorded was in 1960 Valdivia in Chile. It hit 9.5.
Wow.
And that's the biggest one they've ever recorded.
Okay, hold on. With earthquakes comes sometimes tsunamis
And this one, yep.
and fire, yeah.
Yep, fire.
So-
Yeah, San Francisco burned down basically more than
If
the
it's
earthquake.
The whole earth, I could imagine
Oh, gosh.
the water too.
Yep, it's going to be everything, and that's bloody water. The oceans and the rivers are bloody. Yeah. And so it's going to last, this one, in 1960, 10 minutes. It shook for 10 minutes, that's what made it really bad. 10 minutes, it killed 2,000 people in Chile that they know of, 61 people in Hawaii, and 122 people in Japan because of the tsunami that was triggered. So that the water went. So that, what do you think? The whole earth is shaking. It's a lot of water on the earth. There's going to be tidal waves and everything else. Another bad earthquake was the 1976 Tangshan earthquake. It was a 7.5, but when it hit, it killed an estimated 242,000 people.
Killed it?
Killed. And they're saying there's some estimates, and I don't know why there's such a discrepancy that it's closer to 655,000 that died in this earthquake. But look what it did to the railroad
Because
tracks.
it wasn't
Is that wild?
This kind of earthquake, obviously.
Something, yeah, so it was a bad one too. So you can't even imagine what's it going to be like when the whole earth is shaking. We get startled when a little one hits, right? You know. But this is the whole thing. You can't stay, you're going to be on the ground. Things are going to be falling, right? But this wasn't the first time. This is being used as judgment. But this isn't the first time an earthquake was used for judgment. Numbers 16, 30 through 34, God did this before. But if the Lord creates a new thing and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up, because these guys have been bad, with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the pit, then you will understand that these men have rejected the Lord. Now it came to pass, as he finished speaking all these words, that the ground split apart under them. 32. Wow, that was weird. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, and all the men with Korah with all their goods. And so they and all those with them went down alive into the pit. The earth closed over them. This is totally a miraculous type of earthquake. Earth opens, pulls them in, and closes over them. And the interesting detail, taken alive into the pit. Not just they died in the earthquake, they were taken alive to the pit. That pit is Sheol. They were taken right to hell. Alive.
That one guy when Moses was preaching.
That's this one.
That's
The whole,
That's them.
oh, that's what you're, oh,
It's
okay,
in
I was
Numbers.
thinking this is in Revelation. Alright.
So everybody got afraid of that. They all, let's flee before the earth swallows us up. Must have been some guilty conscience standing right there. So God did a new thing to judge Korah and the rebellion, took them alive right straight to hell because of their rebellion. That's scary. So now we got the whole earth shaking as a judgment against most of mankind that's being rebellious, right? So the earth would swallow them up as evidence that those men had rejected the Lord, and they went straight to the pit, which the real word is Sheol, realm of the spiritually dead. Can you imagine what a wake-up call that was for those guys? You're suddenly down there. This is one of those verses that points to hell is inside our earth. You know, we got all that molten lava flowing around down there. But this is one of the verses where you could say that's why they say hell is down actually inside our earth. So now at this point we're reading about the biggest earthquake ever being used for judgment. God's final big shake-up to wake up, that's what I'm calling it, of those who are rejecting him will cause them to go straight to the pit as well. You got it? No. It's just such a scary place living on the earth at this time. That'd be just so startling to go from thunder and lightning to a gigantic earthquake. So Revelation 16, 19 through 20. Now the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon was remembered before God to give her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Then every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. So this earthquake's so great that it destroys the new Babylon, which we're going to be reading about in a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks from now. And so that whole city is going to split in 3. Talk about a unique earthquake. It's going to destroy it amongst the other rebellious cities of the world. There's not going to be any place safe when that earthquake hits. So God's great earthquake will cause the great city of Babylon to be split into 3 parts. Cities in all nations will fall, and the topography of the entire planet will be changed.
Well, when it says the mountains fell away.
Yep, and the islands disappear.
That just does flooding to me.
So no Hawaii, no Mount Rushmore, no Yosemite.
That's
Everything's
the
going.
flooding from the earthquake, right? It's like,
Yeah, the earthquake's going to knock everything down, and the cities will fall down. It's going to be bad. So mankind, was warned that this would happen. So let's read the prophecy of this event in Isaiah 24. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon you, O inhabitant of the earth. And it shall be that he who flees from the noise of the fear, which is probably when all that thundering and shaking is gone, shall fall into the pit. And he who comes up from the midst of the pit shall be caught in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth are shaken. The earth is violently broken. The earth is split open. The earth is shaken exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall totter like a hut. So it's like there's no stability. The hut's just so fragile, right? Its transgression shall be heavy upon it, and it will fall and not rise again. It shall come to pass in that day that the Lord will punish on high the host of exalted ones, and on earth the kings of the earth. They will be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and will be shut up in the prison. After many days and will be punished. So it's not good. Horrible. So in the past, because Babylon's the one city that's is going to be the evil spot, the new Babylon. And the old original bad Babylon was in the country we call Iraq nowadays. And it was a great empire.
The Eden Gardens are still,
And
there's evidence of it.
yes, I think there's evidence of it. But the city in general is done and never been rebuilt, like that. So it fell back in 539 BC. There's some of the ruins of it that they've dug out. They've been making efforts to try to preserve it, and I think when we get to that lesson on Babylon, there's people trying to rebuild it. Still, interestingly.
God's people that came to him during this time period that fled from all around the earth to that one spot.
Yeah, Armageddon. Yeah,
Is it? Yeah, Armageddon.
Megiddo.
That spot's not going to be.
Well, there's still going to be people get there. They're going to be getting there somehow. This is probably what's going to finish them off. Why they really want to go. They're just so mad at God, and they're going to come fight him, I guess. But
I'm assuming that one location would be
still
somewhat
there.
protected.
Well, I think because that's the same zone that Israel will have run and fled to. Theoretically, they're in hiding. That there would probably be a protection over that zone because his people are there. So perhaps it's all still passable, and that's why it's a logical place to
And
go
there's a
fight.
reason why they all go to one spot. So.
It's an easy place to go fight for whatever reason. It's a kind of a centralized area for a lot of those countries to come to from the different angles. They can all get there when you look on the map. So when this happens, this new city of Babylon is going to get destroyed. And of course, they theorize several locations. When people talk about where is the new Babylon going to be, because some say it'll be, and some are trying to rebuild it next to or on top of the Babylon original ruins. And others say that New York is the new Babylon. I don't see that as much anymore as I would have in my younger days.
You might if you heard the guy pray
Well, yeah.
the other day.
Yeah, that guy, yeah, I know. But it's not in its the state it used to be, a glorified city anymore. It's kind of gone to pot, so to speak. Some think it's Dubai, which is in the UAE, because it's a beautiful place that houses 72,500 millionaires. It's a nice place to go if you got some money. So they kind of think, well, that could be the new Babylon because it's already got all the rich going there and a lot of stuff going on. And maybe so. And then some are saying maybe it's now the new Neom, or however they say it, in Saudi Arabia, like a golden, beautiful city that's being built that's going to be as good or better than Dubai. So some people have theorized that's the new Babylon. But who knows? By the time it ever happens, who knows where it's really going to be. But the main deal is wherever this new Babylon is going to be built, it's going to be a city of defiance and rebellion and evil. It's going to be probably the most evil place on the planet, and that's where the Antichrist is going to set up his reign. We just don't know where it's going to be, but people talk about it all the time. But God's going to take it down. He's going to eliminate it, split it in three. He's going to take care of the city of rebellion. And that's the way the first Babylon was, city of defiance, rebellion, great empire, tried to conquer the world. Same thing. But and like Beth brought up, all the islands and mountains are flattened or sunk. It's just hard to imagine that. So many places of beauty that we admire, gone. Everything we know is going to be gone. It's no longer going to look like what we thought. The earth doesn't smell like it should. The earth used to bless and provide for man, but no more. We were in charge of taking care of it, but it's like the job has been revoked now, right?
Well, we started worshiping it.
True.
We don't have, you don't have to go to church, you can always find one somewhere.
All right,
That's
exactly.
part of his plan that you can't.
No. Well, yeah, they misabused their job, Too many other things that we did wrong. So, 1621, and great hail fell from heaven. It fell upon man, each hailstone about the weight of a talent. Men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, since that plague was exceedingly great. So this final portion of the bull's wrath falls from heaven upon men. So let's look at what God reveals centuries before about this event in Job 38. Have you entered the treasury of snow, or have you seen the treasury of hail, which I have reserved for the time of trouble, for the day of battle and war? So God's been saving up a special storehouse of hail just for this day. It's already been made. It's being stored, ready to fall. So this talent is 100 pounds. This 100-pound hail has been stored up waiting for this day of judgment. 100 pounds.
It's a bunch of Tegans falling down.
But a lot heavier and denser. We better not tell her you said that.
Well, it's not a heavyweight person.
But think of that falling. Have you been hit by little hail before? Or golf-size hail puts holes in roofs and cars. It puts, little golf-size will ruin stuff. So this is 100 pound. You don't stand a chance when this falls. So people are running from the earthquake, the thunder, the lightning, and the hail, and there are explosions going off, because there's no way you're not having gas line explosions, electrical explosions. It's just bad. I just can't imagine what it's like. And now you got to try to duck 100-pound hailstones. There's no place to run and hide and be safe at all. Nowhere. So the earthquake made men unsafe below their feet, and the great hail made them unsafe from above. No longer could they depend on themselves for life. Everything's been taken away from them. All that security they thought they'd have. Even taking the mark of the beast, they probably thought, oh, we're secure. The Antichrist is going to take care of us, right? No, not at all. There's no safe place. Everybody got it? Let's read a couple of verses. Psalm 10:4, the wicked in his proud countenance does not seek God. God is in none of his thoughts. And that's pretty much where these people have been. Luke 12, then he spoke a parable to them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man yielded plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, since I have no room to store my crops? He's having a good year. So he said, I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there I will store all my crops and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease and eat and drink and be merry. But God said to him, fool, this night your soul will be required of you. Then whose will those things be which you have provided? So is he who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. So we can't think that we have a plan, that we're secure, that we can take care of ourselves, have a great savings account, have a great retirement plan, have a good insurance plan for all those things that come at risk. Nothing is secure. Nothing. We get the big head, we think we're self-sufficient, like this farmer. And God warned him, so to speak, warning all of us, Don't be so self-sufficient and think you got it taken care of, because it can go like that. People's stuff, a barn can burn down. You may have all your crops in it. The stock market crashed and destroyed many lives. And those were rich people, and they were killing themselves because they lost everything. And so it's the same with these people at the tribulation. They probably thought they were doing good. They were following the Antichrist, had their little credit card for the store to get their food, and look what happens. Life is all over.
Just saying that everyone's seeing things about like when the stock market crashed and people jumping out the windows, and that could also be a suicide rate going on during this time.
Oh yeah. You could see it when if your whole family was raptured and you're left behind. Yeah, you could see all kinds of stuff. And people, the rich that are losing their wealth, or the Antichrist is taking it from them to use it for his stuff. Yeah, there's lots of things that could be going on, but we can't be so dependent, or independent, I should say, thinking we can do it all. It's all in God's hands. It's in his control. Things happen very quickly. I've seen people lose things. It just happens in an instant. You could have a car accident, changes your life. Everything just is not dependable. You can't count on it. So unlike these tribulation men, we must not blaspheme God, because that's what they were busy doing during this time, but instead repent and turn to God while we can. We have our opportunity now, and this is important. This is why you want to reach people that are lost. You don't want them going through this, because who knows? This could happen tomorrow, could happen 20 years from now. We don't know. So you have a chance to witness to people. This is a time to witness. You don't want them living through this. And that's the whole main point of the Revelation study, not that we're supposed to be living through this, but it's to make us aware of what's coming, so we can tell others, don't go through this. Don't think you're safe. So your paper's wrong. I got excitedly ahead of myself. That's like 2 weeks from now. Anyway, I have no clue why I did that. So the real next week is talking about the great harlot. So sorry about that. I don't know what I was doing, but anyway.